Hi, I'm Gina, and welcome to my channel, The Divine Goddess of Truth, where basically I'll be talking about everything spiritual. Um, I've been awakened to the spiritual path, I'll say October or November of 2018, and so far it's had its ups and downs, but I've learned a lot, and I just want to share with you guys what I'm learning along the way. Um, If you could, please hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, and leave a comment in the comment description. And welcome. Welcome to this peaceful, loving, hopefully informative channel. And the topic that I want to discuss today is one that I was incarnated to mainly explain. Because as you know, Earth has ascended to fifth dimension, and we are all on planet Earth going to be thinking in a fifth dimensional manner. And that's what we call the new golden age. So welcome to the new golden age. It's going to take a minute for everybody to catch up. We all have to work through karma and life's lessons and things through our bloodlines before we're all awakened. But no man will be left behind. Okay? So let's get to Maat. So who is Maat? Maat is a goddess, and you can find a lot of information that I'll be discussing today online. If you Google Egypt or ancient Kemet is what it was originally called, online. You can even, a lot of tours record going through a lot of the temples, and you can find Ma'at along the walls in the temples. But who is Ma'at? The goddess Ma'at is the embodiment of cosmic order, truth, justice. She is, and harmony. She is the bestower of what they call the Mak Peru, which is spiritual enlightenment. It is a path. You can follow the path of Ma'at if you're trying to grow spiritually. So if you want to take the spiritual path of Ma'at, you would then study the 42 laws of Ma'at, or the 42, some people call it the 42 negative confessions, or 42 utterances, or what is it, 42 precepts. But it's 42 laws, from which that's where they get the 10 Commandments. As you know, ancient Egypt or Kemet was invaded by different groups of people. And when they went in, they took the information and the knowledge and they rearranged it to fit things like Christianity, Judaism, a lot of the other religions, Buddhism. They took what they wanted to tailor to their own culture. But Egypt, everything started in Egypt. And if you would like, you can do your own research and you will discover that along the walls, what they call the Neteru, or the Greeks called it hieroglyphics, all of the knowledge, even the cross, all of that is on along those walls, yoga poses and everything. Also, you can order this book online. It's called The Egyptian Book of the Dead, or The Coming Forth by Day. But it's a book of enlightenment. It has a lot of initiations and a lot of information on Ma'at and a lot of the gods and goddesses in Egypt or ancient Kemet. So we'll call it Kemet for this lesson, because if you're here, then you're seeking the truth, because this is Divine Goddess of Truth's channel, okay? So in Kemet, in ancient Kemet, most or everyone studied these 42 laws. So that's where they took 10 of them and called them the 10 Commandments and said that Moses brought them. But now we're going to just focus on the 42. All right, so Maat is the daughter of Ra. And if you're familiar with Kemet, Ra is the sun god. And if you're a deeply melanated person, you are a child of the sun. So she is also the daughter of Ra. And her consort is Tahuti. And consort is basically her husband. And for in Egypt and Kemet, they all had, every god had a goddess. And Tahuti is also known as Tha in Greek. So, and he brought to us the 7 universal laws, or the 7 hermetic principles, you know, the law of cause and effect, and so on and so forth. We'll get to that in another video. Anyways, back to Ma'at. That's also where you get, Ma'at is where you get the term Ma from, like in matriarch or mama. Ma'at is, as I said, she is the goddess of cosmic order, justice, truth, and harmony. Why? Because if you follow those 42 laws, you wouldn't need police if the entire population of man and mankind studied those 42 laws. They will be self-governing, which is Islam. I self am law master. Okay. I'm sorry, my phone is ringing. Okay, so Ma'at is also the pivotal point of the law of cause and effect, because it is said that when a person dies, when the Holy Spirit or the Holy Breath leaves your body, it is said that on Judgment Day you enter into the Judgment Hall. And in the Judgment Hall, you're accompanied by Tahuti, her consort, or Tha, and Anubis. And when you're there, Tahuti has your deeds recorded in a book. And Ma'at places your heart on a scale and a feather on the other scale. And your heart must be lighter than the feather. So this is your heart. Let's say this is your heart and this is the feather. Your heart must weigh lighter than the feather. Meaning that if you have any useless sorrow, any hate, any greed, any lust, any anger, envy in your heart, which is also, your heart is also your subconscious mind. So if you have any of that in your heart or your subconscious mind, then your soul has not learned its karmic lessons and would have to repeat earth school again, which means you would be reincarnated. However, if you achieve spiritual enlightenment and you live your days in peace and harmony and all the good things that this earth has to offer, and your heart gets weighed and it's lighter than the feather, then you may go and return to be one back with the divine creator that's created all the gods and goddesses. Okay, so Ma'at is a very difficult path to righteousness. There are a couple more paths. We'll get to that later. But it's a very difficult path, but it's a necessary one. Because I don't know about you, but when it's time to study for a test, I'd rather have all of the information and overstudy than to understudy, right? And by studying Ma'at's laws, I mean, just think how harmonious your life will be. You'll be free of torment, of mental anguish, if you just focus on treating people right. I'm going to read the 42 negative confessions of Ma'at, or the 42 utterances of Ma'at. And if you really want to really get disciplined, you box yourself in. You would say it in the morning and then at night. And let me tell you, we're human and we came here. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. So if you fall short, you get up and you try it again. We're human. We make mistakes. But it's all love, okay? So there's no judgment. And I also want to go through some of the things as we talk about. I want to talk about them as we go through them. Okay, so the first one is, I have not committed sin. Number 2, I have not committed robbery with violence. And see, in the morning you would say, I will not commit sin. So this is the evening. This is my second time saying it. So I have not committed sin. I have not committed robbery with violence. I have not stolen. I have not slain men or women. I have not swindled offerings. I have not stolen from God or a goddess. I have not told lies. I have not carried away food. I have not cursed. I have not closed my ears to truth. I have not committed adultery. I have not made anyone cry. I have not felt sorrow without reason. I have not assaulted anyone. I have not been deceitful. I have not stolen anyone's land. I have not been eavesdropper. I have not falsely accused anyone. We're on number 20. I have not been angry without reason. I have not seduced anyone's wife or husband. I have not polluted myself. I have not terrorized anyone or caused fear. I have not disobeyed the law. I have not been exclusively angry. I have not cursed any god or goddess. And I want to stop there. This is 26. When we talk about curse, to my understanding, the only curse is to place a curse on someone, because the English language is pretty tricky. To me, it's how does your heart feel about the word? Like to me, S-H-I-T, that word to me is manure or fertilizer for trees and fruit and vegetables. It's not necessarily a bad word, but let's say if I used it at a table full of children, I mean, in our culture, that would be considered a curse word. But, you know, the point is, how does your heart or your subconscious mind feels about the word? So let's move on. Okay, so we're at 27. Oh, and to curse a god, a goddess, is to say like, you know, D-A-M-N-U, you know, I hope you be, you know, whatever. Go on and so forth. 27, I have not behaved with violence. 28, I have not caused disruption of peace. 29, I have not acted hastily or without thoughts. 30, I have not overstepped my boundaries of concern. 31, I have not exaggerated my words when speaking. 32, I have not worked evil. 33, I have not used evil thoughts, words, or deeds. 34, I have not polluted the water. 35, I have not spoken angrily or arrogantly. 36, I have not cursed anyone in thought, word, or deed. 37, I have not placed myself on a pedestal. 38, I have not stolen what belongs to a god or goddess. 39, I have not stolen from or disrespected the deceased. 40, I have not taken food from a child. 41, I have not acted in insolence. And finally, 42, I have not destroyed property belonging to a god or a goddess. And if you know in your heart that you're following these laws every day, and you should be growing spiritually. And, you know, taking care of your body health-wise, drinking your proper water and getting the proper amounts of sleep if you can, helps. And thank you for coming to my channel and for letting me share these very pertinent laws that will be followed in the new golden age. Those statutes, codes, ordinances, all these man-made things like your tail light is out or your mailbox is too close to the street, and all of those things are not crimes nor laws. They're simply ordinances or statutes or codes, all designed for commerce, for one's, you know, people to make money and to basically, which is not really establishing order. Otherwise, the world wouldn't be in chaos now. So to bring the world back to the new golden age, because as you know, in Kemet, they experienced a wonderful golden age when they built the pyramids. And the pyramids were not built by slaves. You do your research. They were built by willing participants. And they also lined up with the stars. The 3 pyramids of Giza lined up with the Big Dipper, or what they call the Big Dipper. So if you could just do a little research, you'll understand the importance of the laws and why we must go back to the origins. In order to create a brighter future, we must retain what our forefathers and ancestors put forth that we know actually worked. And with that being said, I wish you all love, peace, and harmony. And until I do the next video, I will see you then. All right, thank you.